Okay, Alex here once again. I want to, this is my observation, and I guess it's a critique, and I want to be careful that this is directed back to me because I think I do this, and I don't like it. I don't like it, and I know I can do better with this. Gavin Newsom is our current governor here in California, and he just started a podcast, and I think it's called This is Gavin Newsom. But he had on Charlie Kirk just the other day, and they had a really good conversation. Obviously, different perspectives from the two, but it was a really good conversation. I thought I enjoyed listening to it, and we are very liberal here. I say we in the state of California. It's typically known as a very liberal place, and that's not exactly true. There are some parts of the state and communities and areas that are very liberal. I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area, and we do have a lot of very liberal people here. But we also have areas that are not. They're very conservative, very. And I think that it's a very diverse area, right? And I'm saying where I live in the Bay Area, liberal, we have lots of different cultures and all of that. And whether it's nationalities or orientation, gender specific, it's a very fluid environment, right? It's very cool. I think it's cool. It's very diverse, and unfortunately, I think that sometimes we lose sight of common sense, and I say common sense because it seems like that just makes sense to me. Gavin Newsom is catching some heat from Democrats and like more of the liberal side because of his comments regarding some of the transgender individuals competing in women's sports. And he's catching heat for it. And he said that in some ways, women who were born with a male body and then transition to be women are competing in women's sports, and they're setting records. And I shouldn't say all kinds because I don't think it happens that much, but it does happen. And he said that he agrees with Charlie that this is a problem. That's a problem. And he's saying that it's an issue of fairness. That's exactly what he said. He said, this is an issue of fairness. Now he's catching heat for that statement, which to me, I'm a pretty liberal guy myself, but that's just common sense, I believe, to say that, yes, it's an issue of fairness. Individuals who were born male, so they've got a bone structure, they've got, musculature that's was intended for a man. And God bless these people. You want to transition to a woman? I'm all for it. Fantastic. Live your life, man. Do you? It's wonderful. But now you're competing with women who were born with a different structure, whether it be swimming or running or whatever it is. You're competing at really high levels, especially collegiately. And you're setting all these records and you're winning medals and all this stuff. So you get to, it's not, come on, man, that's not fair. That's not fair to the women who were born women. They've always competed against other women. They're different. They're different than us men. They're different individuals with a male body. Whatever I call myself, I'm an individual with a male body. The vast majority of it, male body. I could do things different with it. Change it, long hair, all kinds of other things, even hormonal changes. But ultimately, it's still a male body. And you're competing with women who don't have the same sort of structure. And in a lot of cases, men are designed to be more physical in that way, to lift more, to run faster, to handle more stress from that. That's the way we were designed. And Gavin Newsom, because he's saying it's an issue of fairness, is catching heat for it. He's getting criticism for it. And I'm a registered Democrat here in the state of California, but I don't think that's right, man. I really don't. And I say from my fellow Democrats, we should do better. He shouldn't catch heat for that. Now, should there be some nuance behind it and say, hey, women can compete? I think it's important. I think sports is one of those things that, especially if you're a person who was born a male and everything about you says that I should be living as a woman, and you make that transition and you have the courage to do it. And I applaud that. And that sports is a communal thing where you get to be with other women and you get to like interact and it's good. And it's support and it's bonding. Fantastic. And when we get to those highest levels where now you're setting records, and it's just not, to me, it's not fair to the women, the biological women who are you're competing with, and now you're setting records. It's not, I'm not saying that we shouldn't have them in sports or any of that. I just said that to me, it's an issue of fairness. And I agree with Gavin Newsom on that point. And I think it's telling that he's catching a lot of heat for that. And I don't think it's warranted, because if you actually go listen to his conversation, you'll see that he has compassion and love for all, right? At least that's what he's stating. But he is saying it's an issue of fairness. And I agree with him on that point. And I don't think he should catch heat for that. I don't think that's warranted. I don't think it's justified.